Hey YouTube, it's Adrian. Just before we get you to this video, do me a favor and head over to pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and I would love for you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make a pageant industry that is safe, transparent, and fair. I know it's like that most of the time, but over the last year, it's become very evident that it's not like that all of the time. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, put in your email address, and let's get you to this.
Hi, I'm Imogen Chapman. I'm Miss Teen Great Britain 2018/19, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hi everyone. I will say good evening to most of you because you're watching from the UK. It's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and I am here with Imogen Chapman, who is Miss Teen Great Britain 2018/19. Imogen, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Now, most of you guys have probably, and I can see a bunch of you on, so what I want you to do is just let me know in the comments whether you can hear us okay, hear me and hear Imogen. And obviously, if you have any questions or any messages of support, put them in the comments as well so that we can have a conversation with Imogen. But Imogen, why don't you tell us start by telling us, it's super early in the morning, I can't speak yet. Start by telling us how your day has been, how your week's been.
Yeah, it's been good, thank you. We're on Tuesday, so we have a few more days left to go, but I was off of work today, so it was nice. I just did running around and things that I have time to do on my days off, like getting my nails done. But yeah, it's been fun.
What's the we talked briefly about this, but what's the weather in the UK becoming? Because obviously here in Australia we're going into summer. Is it starting to freeze over there and get dark super early and just look really gloomy?
Horrible today. I always say I never understand. I really, really, really don't like this time of year. And a lot of people love autumn and Halloween and getting into Christmas. I hate it because I just hate the cold weather. I hate the rain. I hate having to de-ice your car in the morning. It's just not for me. I'm so much more of a summer person.
Okay, firstly, I've never understood people who love winter, so I agree with you there. I can kind of understand you look forward to Christmas coming up, but we have Christmas in summer here, so we're all on the beach.
That would be nice. That would be really nice.
Secondly, you said you have to de-ice your car. Is it really that cold where you at?
Like when it gets to November, December time, you have to like allow an extra 10 minutes in your morning before you leave for work because first of all, the traffic gets worse because people panic when it rains. And also the cars just freeze over. So you have to de-ice your car before you even get the chance to leave. So yeah, it's not my favorite time of year.
And this is why everyone from the UK who comes to Australia never wants to leave, because we don't have to do those sorts of things. Imogen, why don't we start in terms of pageantry? Why don't we start with your pageant background? What sort of pageants you've done? Because by now I've interviewed people from, this is my first pageant, to, we were talking about Danielle. I mean, Danielle has done, I don't remember how many years, but I asked a question on Instagram, how many pageants have you done? And I think, and Danielle was watching, I think it was 28. Or
She's
something
done
like
a fair few. She has done a few.
She felt that I was personally attacking her. I wasn't, just for the record. But what's your pageant history been like?
My pageant history goes no further than Miss Teen Great Britain. It was the first pageant that I entered 3 years ago, and I competed in it 3 times. And I won, obviously, on my 3rd time last year. But yeah, that was where it started. I entered when I was 16 into Miss Teen Great Britain, and I came in the top 20, caught the pageant bug, as everybody else does, and entered again for the 2nd year, and I came 2nd runner-up. And then, yeah, that was my final push to say, no, I'm not quitting until I win. So last year was my last chance because I'm 19. No, I'm 20. I was 19 when I won, so it was my last chance. But yeah, I managed to do it. So yeah, it was good.
Does it feel any different going from 19 to 20? I mean, you forgot that you were
No,
20,
I
so
mean, exactly. I can't even remember how old I am anymore. No,
that's
not at all. I have said to people that when I turned 20, that I was going to be 20 until after my handover. So I'm officially
uh,
20 in 2 weeks' time because
right.
obviously I still have a team title.
I want to ask you two questions. Firstly, I'm sure people are going to want to know what's next. Um, and then secondly, also with handover coming up, that's often like very mixed emotions. So why don't we start with a handover? How are you feeling 2 weeks left to your reign? How are the emotions?
I feel so sad. I think I feel sad because obviously Miss Teen Great Britain's been only what I've ever known for the past 3 years
Mm,
and only what I've ever known the whole time I've done pageantry. So I think to not have that anymore, whether it be competing or the title, is going to be a bit strange. Um, Obviously, of course, at some point there'll be something else, but I honestly have no idea what that might be yet. Um, I want to have a little bit of a break. But yeah, I think it's going to be weird when it comes to next October and not
yeah.
like throwing myself into 5 days of pageant madness and actually like going to watch. I think it will be a bit strange.
It would be a lot more relaxing, I'm sure, watching. Although,
Yeah.
if you're like me and you get stressed about who's going to win, if you're supporting one friend, then it's not exactly stress free. So, you haven't got any pageant plans specifically just yet, which would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I've sort of said to myself because I did it for 3 years in a row,
Mm,
and although it's sort of October to October that you
yeah,
work for it, you're still working that whole year. So it has literally been a constant 3 years. But I wouldn't have it
yeah.
any other way. But I have said that maybe for a year or two, probably two,
Mm,
I'm gonna just go like still be involved in the community and go and watch and support everybody, but not compete myself.
yeah.
Just have a little break, age up properly to this category, and then yeah, do a little bit of traveling and do things that I'd like to do first, and then re-enter when I'm ready to.
Perfect. Guys watching on the live stream, I will come around to your questions in just a second. Imogen, before I go to the live questions, you are 19/20, or 20, as you said, and you've been doing pageantry solid, so basically nonstop for 3 years. So can you give us an idea as to what you've learnt about yourself or how you've changed over those 3 years?
I think the biggest thing that's changed about me would be my confidence. I think a lot of people feel the same after they do a pageant, but when I first entered, I actually remember 2 days before
Mm,
being with my mum in my room trying to pack our bags and crying and saying, Mum, I don't want to go. Why are you making me do this? It's just going to be a bunch of girls and it's going to be horrible. And I just don't want to do it. To like then begging to
mhm,
re-enter it the year after.
right.
And but yeah, I definitely think my confidence has changed so much. And I think I only really noticed it when I started a new job in last December. And a
Mhm.
lot of people said to me, "Oh, you're quite confident." And I was thought, "Am I?" Oh, okay. I was never confident before. I was so shy and so insecure and quiet when I was younger. But I'm so
Mm.
glad that I'm not like that anymore. But I think I do owe that to pageants, really.
And you said you were crying with your mum in the room, begging her not to make you go. So did she enter you or did you enter yourself?
She entered me.
Another
I
another
didn't
one.
enter myself. Another one whose mum entered them. Yeah, and I was really up for it. I really wanted to do it.
Mm,
Um, but then it sort of got to the day of going and a few days before, and I think I panicked and realized what I was actually about to go and do.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, but I did freak out. But I'm so glad I did it.
Did your mum at least have the courtesy to tell you she had entered you? Because a lot of other mums have just entered their daughters without them knowing and they just get this letter in the mail. Did you know?
Yeah, I did. She entered me at
Okay.
first, and then she told me this is what I've done. How do you feel about it? And I was like, oh yeah. I was actually really excited at first. I remember being
All
really
right.
excited, but yeah, just nervous when it all
Yeah,
came to light of what I was actually about to do. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed it so much the first year.
that's understandable. Okay, let's
Okay.
go to the Facebook questions. Right, so Caroline Tracy has asked, what is next for you after you hand your crown back? So we've already discussed that you don't have any specific pageant plans and you want to do a bit of travel. So are there any other plans, or are you going to just see what happens over the next 1 to 2 years?
I'm just going to see what happens at the moment. I don't have a set plan, but there's a lot of things that I would like to do. When I say about traveling, I'd like to go
Mm.
to a lot of places. So I'd like to take a few places off, which means working hard to be able to afford to do those
Yes.
things and
Yep.
maybe not spend so much money on crowns and
Pageant
gowns.
dresses.
Yeah.
Crowns and gowns.
So yeah, saving a lot of money and just seeing what happens. Really, I just think when you're so young, I think those your 20s especially are such an important time to be able to do what it is that you want. So
Mhm.
hopefully I'm gonna do everything that I want over the next few years. But obviously pageantry is going to be a part of that. But I do just want to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, pageant girls often seem to also have the traveling bug, and those
Yeah.
two, pageantry and traveling, are not cheap. They're not cheap
No.
hobbies to have. So this is why you also need to work so you can afford to
Yeah.
do these.
Exactly, but it's sort of
Uh,
one of those things where it's like you literally cannot do it all at once, so you have to give
yeah,
yourself a little bit of time.
yeah. No, there are loads of comments of people just watching and saying and supporting you. Got Kelsey Poulton's mum on.
Oh,
Alison Manning is watching. Maria Torres is on. Danielle is ha ha ha. Too many. Yeah. Danielle was 28, right? And happy birthday for the other day, Danielle. Chloe Roberts has said, hey, Helen. Oh, okay, so I'm going to try and see if I can find a question. There's loads of
okay.
messages of support. I'll let you go back through them after we're done. Questions. Says, I'm very proud of you, said Louise Chapman. Kelsey
Oh,
Poulton,
that's my mum.
Helen. Okay, Helen Poulton has said future Miss England with 4 question marks. Any questions, guys? You just really supported, which is okay. Here's a question: Ellie Mia, Little Miss Teen. So your sister Queen, I'm
My
assuming.
sister queen. Yeah.
What has your favorite appearance been?
Uh, my favorite appearance in the past year would have to be my visit to the Sampat project in Bali. Um, it was amazing, and I was treated like an absolute queen, and I was not expecting it at all. It was amazing. I was there on holiday, and before I left, I wanted to see if I could find something that I could be involved with whilst over there. I
Hmm.
just thought the opportunity of me being over there whilst I had the title was something that I didn't want to miss.
Sure.
Um, so I contacted a Rotary Club, which we have here in England as well. So I thought, okay,
Yep.
I understand what this is. Got in touch with them and asked them if they knew of anything that I could be involved with for a day whilst I was over there. And they took me on a whole day out. We went to visit a school where a guy called Wyan had created the Sampat project, and it teaches the children in the community about plastic pollution and
Hmm.
all about recycling. And the kids were incredible. We got there and they knew so much. They obviously didn't speak a lot of English,
Sure.
barely any English, but they were really incredible and so inspiring. The cleanups that they were getting involved with, they were showing us pictures and showing us around their village and the communities and the things that they've done. It was amazing for me to see that, and I was so glad that I got to go.
I will say Kelsey, because Kelsey Poulton is on as well. She said Imogen is like a sister to me with a love heart, a true queen through and through. Can't wait to see everything that lies ahead for you.
Oh,
Uh, And we were talking about Danielle before. She has said you're an inspiration to me, Emmy, with a love heart.
Aw, I'm gonna cry. I get really emotional
Please
really
don't.
easily, so maybe you should stop.
Who is it? I had Jessica Barclay on, and she cried on the interview. And then Joanna Johnson was saying that she just cries all the time at random
I
things. So.
cry all of the time. It's so embarrassing. I've cried at work before because I had a elderly gentleman in the waiting area that fell asleep, and I thought it was really cute, and I cried. It was just, it's not okay, the things that I cry at.
Did he fall asleep in a particular manner, or he just?
Just in the wait, like sat in the seat in the waiting area, and he just nodded off. You know, sometimes how like your granddad does, just nod off
Mm.
in the corner. Yeah, it was like that, and I just thought it was so cute.
That's not what I expected. Uh, okay, so Kelsey's mum, Helen, has said you had an amazing travel experience this year, so which you just told us about. Do you have any similar travel plans for the year ahead? Maybe
Um,
2020, not this year.
yeah, this year, oh, I wish, but no, not
Yeah.
enough time. Next year, I would really like to go to the Philippines.
Oh
I
wow.
know that Danny has been before and she absolutely loved it, but I would really like to go. Um, I've thought about Australia now for a little while, but I don't do very well with flying in airplanes, and it's a long, long flight. Um, but yeah, I don't have anything planned as of yet, but hopefully in the new year I can start booking things and deciding where it is that I want to visit next.
Is Australia that much further from the UK than Bali or the Philippines? Because Bali for us is
Yeah.
probably only a 2 or 3 hour flight.
So when I was in Bali, we did make a joke and said, well, whilst we're this
Mm,
far over, we may as well just hop
may as
over to
well.
Australia, because everyone that we met in Bali was Australian because it's so
Yeah,
close to you guys.
exactly.
But no, we didn't have time, unfortunately. But I would like to do it, but the thought of a 24-hour flight is, I really, really struggle on airplanes. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'd
Yeah,
have
that.
to, if I was going, I'd have to stay there for a very long time to do the flight. I'd have to stay in Australia for like a month.
Yeah, well, I mean, coming all the way from the UK, you'd want it to be worth it, but also Australia is big enough that you could easily stay here for a month. And I was telling someone this the
Yeah.
other day, Australia geographically is the same size as the United States. So physically it's very big, and there's a long way between cities, which actually you'd probably have to fly between unless you want a really long drive. But I got to say, when you say a 24-hour flight, you don't like the sound of it. To me, that actually sounds really short because I did a flight to the UK once and it was 48 hours door to door. So
Ah,
24 hours, you're telling me this, I'm going, well, that's nice and short.
exactly. No, 40
Your
hours is
jaw just
not for
dropped.
me.
Okay. Kelsey has asked, what was it about Miss Teen Great Britain that had you hooked?
I think for me, I it's Holly is obviously the director of Miss Teen Great
Mm,
Britain, and I can't comment on her other pageants because I've only ever been to watch. But I love Holly's pageants and the way that
yeah.
she runs things, and I know that a lot of people have the same view.
Mm,
Um, that doesn't mean to say I wouldn't ever want to try anything else, but I think for my first pageant, to get involved with such a big family was a good starting place for me. I don't know if I would have carried on and felt so involved so quickly if I had have entered something else.
yeah.
So I think entering something that was ran by the pageant girl organization was a good choice for me, just because they are just such a big family and everybody knows everybody, and they run so many pageants now. Yeah, I think that's the main thing, is how it's run, um, and what it's about, what it stands for. It's not your normal pageant. It's not as scary maybe as all of the big pageants. It like, I Galaxy seems like the most fun ever, but it does scare me because it's like another level up. But Miss Teen Great Britain is amazing, and it's such a confidence builder, and I haven't really ever met anybody that's not loved it.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way it's run throughout the whole weekend that you're there. You just have the best time.
Obviously, I've interviewed a lot of the Galaxy girls, and I'm sure now that you've said that you would consider going into Galaxy, they will all be saying, "Go Galaxy, go into Galaxy." They're all crazy, but obviously that's run by Holly as well. Now, Kevin has asked a question: would you consider entering Miss World?
I wouldn't be able to say right now. Um, I have a friend, Alicia Cowie, who was Miss England last year. She went to Miss World, and she enjoyed it so much. But it's another level up. And I would only want to enter something when I feel like I'm 100% ready. So I definitely wouldn't enter that now, or maybe in the next 2 years. But
Right.
I'm open to everything and learning more about every system. I wouldn't say no to anything at the moment.
Perfect. Yeah, I think having a well-deserved break sounds good. Helen Poulton has asked, who was your pageant inspiration throughout your journey and why?
Oh, I feel like I have a few. When I first ever entered, I didn't really know loads of pageant girls. In fact, I remember when I competed in Miss Teen Great Britain for the first time, I didn't even know what Galaxy was. I'm so sorry, but I didn't. I was
It's a
16
chocolate.
and exactly. I had no idea, and I thought, Galaxy? What? Why is everyone talking about Galaxy? Well, I don't understand. But obviously, I did my research and I got there in the end. But I think for me, when I was competing in Miss Teen Great Britain, obviously Ashley Wilde, she's one of my best friends. I talk to her all of the time. In fact, I've been talking to her all day about how nervous I've been for this tonight. But yeah, she was incredible when she was a Miss Teen GB herself. She did so much, and she really used her platform in such a way. Oh, she really
Just
used
blowing
her
you up.
platform in such. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys, stream issues. This is what happens when the internet quality goes big, so that Skype goes, oh, we'll put up a big video, and then when it drops down, it makes it a small video. So if you see Imogen blowing up and shrinking, it's not her, it's Skype doing it in the background. It's also not me. I just want to point that out. But continue, Imogen. You were talking about Ashley before you blew up.
Yeah, no, Ashley was one of my biggest inspirations because when she was a queen, she did so much to educate people about a certain topic, and I thought I could do that too. So I sort of took that and ran with it and worked hard to do the same. So yeah, she inspired me a lot, and she still does, obviously, but she knows that.
Yeah. And she's recently, I'm sure put up the photo with her acne issues in it, and she's been picked up by some newspapers. So she's very, very brave, and obviously I've interviewed her. Very hardworking as well. Very super organized.
So organized. I don't know how I thought I was organized. I am definitely not in comparison to Ashley Wilde.
But you're still organized yourself. You wouldn't consider. I mean, your room looks super tidy, so it doesn't. I don't think you'd be super disorganized.
I did have a massive tidy before I came on, just to be sure there was not anything out of place. But I'd say I'm pretty organized. Sometimes I get a little bit stressed, but no, I'd say I'm okay.
My job will be to find someone who's as organized as Ashley Wilde, or maybe even more organized.
I'm not
Emily
sure whether that will work.
Yeah, probably not. Emily Blakemore has asked, would you give any advice for people doing a pageant for the first time?
The main thing I would say, and as cheesy as it sounds, is just be yourself, because there is honestly nobody better. If you are right for the title, if you are right for the pageant and the competition, then you will do. What am I trying to say? Then
You've got it. You'll do
if
best
you
in a system that suits you, right? When you're being your true
yes,
self.
you'll do best in the right system for you. So if you're being your
Yeah.
true self, then there's nothing that you can do wrong.
I answered the question for you. That's
Yeah.
I knew what you were trying to say. Now Maria Torres has so International Galaxy Director. For those of you who don't know, she said looking forward to seeing you for training in March. Are you training in
I
March?
Oh, so when the Galaxy Girls hosted their ball, they did a raffle, and
Hmm.
I never ever win anything in raffles. However, this year I won a training session with Maria. I have never been so excited about anything ever. It was the best prize I probably could have won. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. I've actually saw the voucher in this drawer behind me, so I'm ready. I'm ready, Maria, and I'm very excited.
When is that happening in relation to UK Galaxy? Because UK Galaxy I know is Friday the 13th of March. So is the training before or after?
Maria comes over before, so we don't have a set date as of yet. I'm going to wait
Okay,
until I find out when she's next coming over, and then hopefully we
right.
can get that booked in when she's doing her next block of training sessions in the UK.
Okay, cool. Maria, if you're watching, let me know when you are going over in March, and I'll probably head over early as well. So Kevin now has asked, would you consider to enter Miss Universe? Which I would assume your answer would be similar. It's like not right now, but maybe later on. Uh,
Do you know, one of the uh, one of my goals would be to enter Miss Universe, but
mm,
I don't know if and when I would be ready. It definitely isn't now, but it would be something that I would love to enter. But again, we'll see what
yeah.
happens.
No, I agree with you. Just take a couple of years off, go travel, save up some money, and find yourself before diving straight back in. I mean, you've already done this for 3 years in a row. So you can, maybe just relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Would be nice. Miss London Galaxy. So, Danielle, what skill have you gained from competing in pageants?
I think probably my confidence, and we said earlier about my confidence and how it's
Mm,
changed and grown so much since I first entered, but definitely the way that I am and interact with people, and I'm able to do that. Before, when I was younger, I used to struggle so much when it came to dealing with the public or
mm,
different people that I've never met before. But now I'm a lot better, and I honestly can only thank pageants for it. It wasn't myself; it was definitely pageants. Um, but yeah, very very grateful for them to help me with that.
Imogen, I'm just looking at the Instagram questions. That's why I'm looking down. So, I think, yeah, Ellie. This is from Ellie, your little Miss T in Great Britain. This is an easy question to answer, but how much do you love your sister queens? From Ellie.
From Ellie, a lot. Ellie, you know this. Edison and Ellie, I think, are both amazing. Ellie, I FaceTimed a few nights ago, and I can't help but be in hysterics every time I speak to Ellie. If you ever get the chance to meet Ellie and talk to Ellie, she's probably the sassiest little girl you've ever met in your life. She comes out with some brilliant one-liners. Um, she really does. But Edison, yeah, incredible. She's done so well as well. I know she competed in Miss Teen and GB
Mm.
previously before she won too. And she's had such an amazing year, and she's managed to do so much. So yeah, I love them both a lot.
I've interviewed some sassy people in my time, so the crown for sassiest person I've ever met, that's a tough one to compete for. Also, the crown for the weirdest queen I've ever met would be a very hard title to compete for. Miss Junior Teen Dundee. I don't know her name. That's just the Instagram handle. But she has asked, "What do you do if you don't know any of the girls?"
Okay, so this was my worry in my first year.
Sure.
I didn't know anybody. The only way I knew people was through the group chats that get set up beforehand, which I know a lot of the girls are a part of at the
Mm,
moment because I'm a part of them too.
mm,
And I remember stalking people that had done it in previous years. So in my first year, Ashley had won
yeah.
and she hadn't competed in it before, but we had Chloe Lake who had competed in it before,
Hmm.
so I knew who she was already because I'd stalked her like crazy on Facebook and Instagram. Same as Emma Collingridge, stalked everybody just because I was so nervous and I wanted to know who it was I was going to meet. So I didn't know they didn't know me, but I definitely knew them. But
Yeah.
meeting them is just amazing because everybody's really lovely and everybody is in the same boat. There's going to be some girls there that were in it last year that know each other
Hmm.
from last year, but the majority, there's a lot of new contestants in it this year. So I wouldn't panic. Everybody's going to be in a similar boat and you get to know each other so quickly. So just let it happen. Be you, be friendly, let everybody come to you, and it will be fine.
Imogen, will you be there for the event itself, or will you be just there on the final night? Because I'm sure now that you've done this interview, the new contestants especially would love probably to maybe have a photo with you, but get your ear and have some advice. So are you planning on
Yeah.
being there just for the final and the handover, or will you be there longer?
No, I'll be there Friday to Wednesday. I'll be there the whole time. So
Right.
I'll be there for Little Miss and Junior Miss, and then
Hmm.
for Miss Teen on the starts on the Monday. I'll be there the whole time.
You mentioned that you stalked a lot of the people who I know as well. We call it doing research, but you called it stalk, which I understand. How does it feel now that the shoe's on the other foot, that people might be stalking you and that you might be the inspiration for the younger generation?
Do you know, it's
I'm
actually
just going to
really funny because, oh, when I think about it,
Mm,
it does make me laugh because I know that when I was younger and I didn't really know too much about pageantry, I remember stalking those people, and I am fully aware that people are now stalking me.
yep.
I do find it quite funny, but it's also quite strange because I still feel like I am that person doing the stalking. um, but yeah, I do find it interesting. I remember the first appearance I made after I'd won, I had everybody asking me for a picture, and usually it's me
Hmm.
asking if I can take the picture with the title holders. So yeah, it's interesting, but it's kind of fun.
Who is, I'll put you on the spot a little bit. So you mentioned that you've had photos with different people. Do you have a favorite photo of all time or a favorite selfie with someone of all time?
um, hmm, I don't know. I don't think so. Uh,
That's
just in the
probably a very
pageant,
politically correct answer.
yeah, just in the pageant community. I mean, I love my crowning pictures with Evangeline and with Holly because obviously they're one of the best moments for me, but they do make me laugh because in some of them you can see Holly talking to me and reminding me that we need to take pictures for the website, so I should stop crying
I
20
was
minutes
just
after.
about to ask you, did you cry when you were crowned? So you answered my question
Uh,
from.
yeah. Holly said to me, she said, Imogen, you really need to stop crying now because we have to take pictures for the website. This was like 20 minutes after I'd won it. Like everyone had gone home. No, like everybody'd left and I was still there crying on the stage. She said, I've never had anybody cry this much like this. And I was like, I'm sorry, I just can't believe it.
So this is a good point to ask. Do you have any tips for pageant competitors when they're crying? Because I've asked about pageant girls laughing and hiding behind the hand and or pageant posing, pageant waving. So when it comes to crying, I've often seen this one. Is this the best way to stop it, or like how? What do you do?
I
What's the
have
go-to?
I done this? I think I have done this. I know when they announced my name that I
Yeah.
won, I jumped up and down for like a minute. Um, just where I was so excited and I was crying. But my favorite to make myself stop is to dab the inner corner with a tissue. If you just get it in there and then
Right.
it just all comes onto the tissue and nothing drips and it's fine.
You were jumping up and down whilst crying?
Yeah, yeah. When they announced my name, because I literally just couldn't couldn't believe it.
There's a lot of
I
emotions in that, jumping up and down and crying.
Yeah, I did do a lot of jumping. And I remember Rachel Loftus saying to me, "Go and get your crown," because I stood in the same place for like 2 minutes just jumping and like crying.
Do you think there will be more tears when you do hand over?
Yes, definitely. I said to myself, just try not to cry, just try to keep it together, but I won't. I know that whoever I crown will be crying and I will be crying with them. And it's not even my time to cry anymore. It's their time to cry, but I will still be crying, probably because I'm so happy that they've won and I know what they're about to experience.
Sounds like you might need to pre-pack some tissues just to make
Yeah,
sure. I don't think you want to be
it's gonna
crying
be
more than the girl who gets crowned.
that would be embarrassing.
All right. I'm just going back to the questions, Imogen. After we finish the live, I'll let you go through. There's a bunch of comments just saying how much they love you. I don't think I don't think I've seen this many comments without questions since I did Maria Torres's interview. It was just we love you, we love you, we love you. You'll see when you look at them. Danielle has asked an interesting question. If you had to compete in a talent round, what would you do? Assuming crying on the spot is not considered a talent.
Yeah, crying on demand. No, in all seriousness, I would probably sing. I studied musical theatre for years since I was very young, so I would probably sing a song. But yeah, I don't really have any weird talents that I could bring out. But I think I'd have to go be boring and sing.
It's okay if you don't have weird talents. I've heard so many weird
Yeah.
things that kind of creep me out. It's nice to meet someone just a bit more normal. Do you have a particular song that you would sing, or a particular style of song that you would like to sing?
um, Only musical theatre. I can't sing anything else. And if it's from a musical, I can give it a go. If it's not from a musical, there's absolutely no chance.
Right.
Um, but probably I used to sing a lot on my own from Les Mis. I sang that in a show once and it went quite well. So I sang it a few more times after that. Um, Danielle will probably remember actually, I hosted a ball last year and my sister in law forced me to sing that at the ball. So my mum did a round with the bucket for extra coins and I sang the song.
Did you
But
do it just solo without any backing track?
no, no. We had a backing track. We had one because we had a guy called Terry performing, and then he managed to get it on his music system, got it up, and yeah, I sang the song. But I was forced. That wasn't by choice.
Force kicking and screaming, you poor thing. Imogen, just before we go to the final 10 questions, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, or just say thanks for supporting you along your crazy 3-year journey?
My mum, she's downstairs. I really hope she is watching because that would be embarrassing if she's not. But thanks, mum.
I'm sure, I mean, she's put some comments in there. I'm sure if she's not watching now, she'll watch it later.
Yeah,
Uh,
I hope so.
and Danielle has said, Imi is a talented songstress.
Oh, thanks, Danny.
Have you ever heard her sing?
No. Should
No.
I?
I don't know. She says she likes singing, but she can't. So now, of course, I really, really want to hear.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
really want to hear too.
well, it's probably easier for you. Okay, so we have the final 10 questions. Here we go. Number 1. What is your favorite word?
Oh, my favorite word, probably pasta. Uh,
Somehow I don't think it's because you like the word. Somehow I think it's because you like eating the stuff.
yeah. I don't think I have a favorite word. I have a few disfavorite words, but not
Well, then you
what.
know how to answer the next question then, because the next
Oh,
question is,
okay.
what is your least favorite word?
Okay. I, like a lot of people, don't like the word moist. That's not great. I don't like that at all.
I've heard that
Um,
so often now, it's just kind of lost its impact on me, but I understand. That's one of the most popular choices to all my questions.
I have a few more words, but I can't seem to remember them off the top of my head. I really hate the word, and this is again not because I hate the word, it's because I
Hmm.
hate what's linked to it. I hate meatballs. But I hate the word meatballs. When someone says meatballs, it makes me cringe. But yeah,
But you like pasta.
yeah, but not with meatballs.
Well, you don't like meat, or you just don't like meatballs, or?
I don't like meatballs. I had food poisoning once. Well, we think it was food poisoning anyway. And the night before I ate meatballs. That was on my year 6 school camp. So ever since then I can't.
Okay. All right. Question 3. In life, what excites you? What turns you on?
Hmm. Shopping. Shopping, it sounds so bad, and I really hate that I am like that, but shopping really does excite me. And my mum is the same, so I get it from my mum. That's where I get it from. But when we're leaving and we're on the way home and we're in the car and we have a boot full of shopping bags, I know that both of us are just dying to get home to get it all back out again to remind ourselves what we just bought.
Have you ever cried whilst shopping because you've been so happy to find something?
No, no, not yet. But maybe
Not
one
you.
day
That actually
it will
surprised me.
shock me.
I was sure the answer was going to be yes. Question 4. What turns you off?
um, I don't love getting my nails done. In fact, I hate it. I hate going to the nail shop. I like having my nails done,
Mm.
but I hate going to the nail shop. I hate sitting there and holding hands with someone that I don't really know for like an hour. I don't like it when they file them. It makes me cringe. And I don't like it when they accidentally clip your skin because that just makes me feel sick. Hate it.
Hmm. Okay,
Mm.
well, I've never had my nails done, and I was curious about getting them done just because everyone I know gets them done. Now that you've said that, I don't think I want to anymore.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it and I get so bored as well.
I can understand that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you're like most pageant girls, you can't sit still because you always need to be doing something. Question 5. What sound or noise do you love?
Ooh, what sound do I love? Oh, these are hard questions, and it's funny because I've thought about them before.
It could be a song, it could be an instrument, it could be an animal. The most common
Oh,
answer has been rain on a tin roof, or rain when you're trying to fall asleep, or the ocean.
I, I just hate rain. I think I really like saxophones. I really like that as a sound.
Wow.
I was in our shopping center the other day, and there was someone busking, and he was playing the saxophone, and I love it. That's a good sound.
Wow, that's so surprising because the last interview I did was with Miss World Australia and she actually said the exact same thing. So that doesn't happen very often. Sorry, you've just blown up again.
No,
Okay, so what sound or noise do you hate?
um, I don't. The filing of my nails or of anything. I hate that a lot. Or I also hate when you are texting with your nails, the tappy tappy tappy. I don't
Right.
actually enjoy that noise. Find it very irritating.
It sounds like you just want to have a break from pageantry so you don't have to have your nails done. You don't, you don't sound like you like it very much. Sorry, you keep going bigger and smaller. I'm just trying to fit you in
That's
the screen
okay.
again. Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
Or I would definitely pick being able to click your fingers and transporting to other places. 100%.
If you
Because I don't like traffic, I don't like flying, and I don't really like trains. So being able to go like that and be somewhere else would be great.
If you could just click your fingers right now, where would you go?
Probably the Bahamas so I could swim with the pigs. That's been on my mind the past week, so I'd go there.
Pigs? Pigs?
The pig.
I
Yeah.
don't. There are pigs? You swim with pigs? It's,
You
really?
don't know about the pigs?
No, I've heard about swimming
In
with
the
dolphins,
sea.
but why are the pigs in the sea?
I
Pigs.
don't know. There's pigs on the beach and in the sea in the Bahamas. That's where I would go and swim with the pigs.
There are
You
pigs.
should. I can't believe you've never
Why are
heard
there
of
why
that.
are there pigs in this? Okay.
I don't know, but there are.
I just feel someone lost a bunch of pigs and they're swimming around the ocean. Okay. See, that's an unusual answer. Okay.
No, they live there. The pigs live there.
I had never heard this. I had never
I
heard
can't
this.
believe you've never heard of that.
I can't believe. Well, no, I'm gonna look it up after we get off our
Yeah.
interview. That's for sure. The pigs of the Bahamas. You've made me forget the next question. Oh, I know the next question. Question 8. If you could try any occupation other than your own, what would you most like to attempt?
I'd like to do something really fun, like be a travel blogger, but I don't think I could ever do that myself. But I follow on YouTube, I'm subscribed to this couple. They have a sailboat. They're called Sailing the Vagabond. And I love watching their videos. And this is how I know about the pigs. They swam with the pigs the other week.
Okay.
So, yeah, I love following them, watching them. So I would love to do something like that because that's probably got to be the best job in the world. But yeah, I don't think, not sure if we'll ever get there, to be honest.
Well, you've already said you don't like flying. You said you don't like traffic, so cars are out. You said you don't like trains. That doesn't leave you many other modes of transport aside from boats.
They have a sailboat, so I could do that. Try that. But no, if I had the opportunity to travel, I would definitely just suck it up and get on the airplane. That wouldn't be a massive issue for me.
Right. Okay. Question 9. What job or occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
I would not like to be a nurse or a doctor of any kind because I would not be good at it. I'd be good at caring for people. I'm quite a caring person, but I don't deal well with blood and sick and things like that.
Okay.
Wouldn't be for me.
Okay. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Probably something along the lines of, "Hello, Imogen, you've done well. Come on in."
Sounds good to me.
Just something nice and simple like that.
I like it. I'm just going to go back to the Facebook comments one more time. Danielle has put what looks to be a pasta emoji there, and then she has put 3 soccer balls, and then a saxophone.
I think she means meatballs.
Oh, I like how you're actually able to tell that. And then she's also put a pig emoji with a wave emoji. Danielle, are you having a good time with your birthday? You're not writing words are hard now. You're just writing an emoji. I still can't get over this whole pigs in the Bahamas, swimming with the pigs.
I can't believe that you don't know about that. I thought that was like a very big thing.
Well, you have to understand, coming from Australia, there's a lot of things that people have heard about us. Some people like to make up stories about Australia. So, for example, I was asked one time by someone overseas, is it true that you really have a lane on the harbour bridge for kangaroos? And I was like, no. And it's like, when you wake up, do you have kangaroos going through your backyard? It's like, also no. And then there was someone from the UK, a tennis coach, wanted to go to Melbourne, and he was going to go caravanning. And he said, oh, I can't pick up the caravan from the airport, can I? Because I won't be able to drive through the streets of Melbourne. And I said, why? And he said, oh, because the streets are full of kangaroos. I said, no. And the funny thing was, he wouldn't believe me. He thought I was the one telling him a lie. He wouldn't believe me that you could actually just drive through Melbourne like a normal city. So when you tell me pigs in the Bahamas, part of me is going, is someone pulling my leg? Because this doesn't sound, this sounds like something an Australian would tell visitors. But I will certainly look it up. Well, Imogen, look, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And best of luck with handover. And I do hope that you're able to get the tears under control.
Me too.
But a little bit of crying, I think, is okay. I'll keep you on the line for just a second, Imogen, but I'm going to let the audience go. So thank you, everyone, for watching. Louise Chapman has just said it's called Pig Beach. Okay, I'm going to look this up. But I'm going to thank everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you again next time.
Hey guys, it's Adrian again. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com and join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you need to do is put in your email address. Thanks, and speak to you next time.